So ever since the Nintendo Ninjas completely wiped off Aero from existing, there hasn't really been any other big Nintendo leakers who've been giving us some updates and teases for new Nintendo announcements until now. If you've been keeping up with Nintendo leaks and rumors and news and all of that, then you might have heard the name PH Brazil. Now this is a journalist who's worked with a lot of big companies and websites in the past, and they've actually given some information that's turned out to be somewhat credible. The only thing is this person actually speaks in Portuguese, so it takes a little bit to actually learn that information because we have to wait for somebody to translate it into English, but this person has proven themselves to somewhat have some type of potential reliable information, as one of the biggest things that this person said was that the Nintendo Switch 2 wasn't going to be coming out this year and that Nintendo had actually delayed it to early 2025. And this was announced back in March when everybody was anticipating the Nintendo Switch 2 to get revealed right before GDC and the Game Developers Conference was going to begin, as Nate the Hate had put out a big report just a few weeks before saying that it was going to happen and that Nintendo was going to do the reveal. And then all of a sudden this random person came out saying like, guys, by the way, I don't think that the Switch 2 is coming out this year. Apparently Nintendo has been telling people to expect it in early 2025. And then once that information came out, a lot of other big websites started coming up with that information as well and reporting it, saying like Eurogamer is corroborating that same information and VGC is corroborating it and Bloomberg is. So then after that, it pretty much ended up being true, as of course we did not get the Switch 2 reveal that happened in March, and then Nintendo confirmed that they were going to show us the Nintendo Switch 2 before the end of their fiscal year, which ends in March of 2025. Now since then, PH Brazil has made a pretty interesting announcement because on the latest podcast that he was appearing in, he said that that podcast was going to be one of the last podcasts that they were going to have before the Nintendo Switch 2 news really starts to show, as he was saying that apparently according to his sources, he's heard that Nintendo has taken multiple presentations from September and have pushed them up to be happening in the coming weeks. And just a few days ago, Nintendo announced a special direct for the Nintendo Museum, which is going to be opening in very early October in Japan, where this is going to be like a place where you can see Nintendo's history and stuff. So it in a way was kind of a presentation, and it was branded still as a Nintendo Direct, but PH Brazil was even saying that this wasn't what he was talking about. Now, if we take a look at this article right here, it says, Nintendo Insider doubles down on new Direct coming soon. And it says here, a notable Nintendo Insider has reiterated that a new Nintendo Direct should be happening relatively soon. Earlier this week, Nintendo held its latest Direct, but the presentation was not what fans expected at all. Rather than focusing on upcoming games for the Switch, or perhaps even revealing the Switch 2, Nintendo chose to show off its new museum that it's opening in Japan this October. Fortunately, for those who were hoping for a more traditional Direct, it sounds like a broadcast of this type is still happening shortly. In a recent statement on Famiboards, insider PH Brazil once again suggested that a new Direct would be happening before the end of the month. Previously, Brazil was one of the first to claim that Nintendo was planning a new Direct that should be happening in the coming weeks. When this presentation associated with the Nintendo Museum came about, some inferred that this was the Direct that Brazil had been referring to. Instead, he clarified that this was not the case. And his full quote right here was, "This wasn't all I was talking about," the insider said of the Nintendo Museum Direct. "There's still more coming this month." So yeah, PH Brazil is still out here saying that there's going to be another Nintendo presentation happening before the end of the month. But the crazy thing is that the end of the month is literally this next upcoming week, as starting on Sunday, this is going to be the final week of the month of August, meaning that if there was going to be another Nintendo presentation, it would have to be announced within the coming days because the week after that, it's already going to be September. Now, the whole idea of this is very interesting because everybody knows that we've always gotten a September Nintendo Direct for the entire Nintendo Switch generation. It's happened in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, and last year with 2023. So how come all of a sudden they would just randomly switch this to now having something happening in August? And the thing is, there is a possibility that this could happen, obviously because the Nintendo Switch 2 is just around the corner. I do think that it's possible that Nintendo might be deciding to do things a little bit differently if they want to kind of squeeze in the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal during a different time as well, and that could definitely shift a couple of things. Now, PH Brazil didn't specify exactly what type of presentation this was going to be, so it's not guaranteed that this is the September Direct that he's talking about. Maybe it could be some other type of presentation, and we're still going to have a normal Nintendo Direct in September as well. We really don't know, so I figured I would tell you guys kind of the top 5 predictions that are most likely going to happen for what this type of presentation is going to be. So starting from the most likely to the least likely, I would say that the most likely thing for this upcoming presentation is that it's going to be a Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase. And I know that that's not what most people want to hear, but a lot of times third-party game companies have some types of agreements with Nintendo that by a certain amount of time, Nintendo is going to show off their game and show it in a presentation. And if Nintendo isn't planning to have a Nintendo Direct, but they still need to obey by those contracts and those rules and everything, they would need to have some type of presentation and show those things off. So a lot of times for that, they have these Nintendo Direct Partner Showcases. We had one that happened earlier, I think in like February or March this year as well, and that was still branded as a Nintendo Direct, even though it was just a partner showcase. So it's very possible that Nintendo could decide to do that and show off some third-party games. The second thing that could happen, I feel like, is a Nintendo Direct Mini. So this would be like a smaller Nintendo Direct, but the Nintendo Direct Minis can still have first-party announcements, so we could get updates for like new games and stuff that are still coming. We could get like a new trailer for Mario Party Jamboree or something for like Echoes of Wisdom or something like that. So we could still see like Zelda and Mario and stuff appear, but it's not going to be as big as like a traditional Nintendo Direct. The third thing I would say is that it's possible that this could also be a game-specific direct, as Nintendo tries to have like one type of game-specific direct at least once a year, and like last year we had one for Mario Wonder, the year before that in 2022 we had a Xenoblade Chronicles 3 direct, so it's possible that they could try to do a game-specific direct, and I think the most likely one that would happen if there was going to be one is for Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, so we could see like a Zelda Echoes of Wisdom direct happen and get like a deep dive into that game because it is just around the corner. The fourth option is an actual traditional Nintendo Direct. I just feel like it's a little unlikely because they always happen in September, so like why would Nintendo push it up just a few weeks before? Like we're already so close to September, it's not like it's happening in early August, so I just feel like they would probably just wait till September to have a traditional Direct like they normally do, so I'm not sure if I really expect a traditional Direct to happen, but I guess there is always a possibility and you never truly know with Nintendo. And then the final prediction, the most unlikely one, but the one that everybody wants, is of course the announcement and reveal trailer for the Nintendo Switch 2. And honestly, man, if they announce the Nintendo Switch 2 next week, I would lose my mind, but I don't think that that's going to happen. I still think that there is a possibility that Nintendo could reveal this system at some point this year, but I feel like they would probably wait till around October, maybe late September to show it, and I feel like then it would be perfect because it is rumored that the system is going to be going into mass production by the end of this year, and if that's the case, then everybody is going to be potentially seeing the possibility of the system getting leaked, and that's something that Nintendo should be very aware of because that actually happened with the Nintendo Switch Lite, where somebody managed to get a picture of the back panel of the Switch Lite and post it like a few months before the Switch Lite was revealed. And you don't want that to happen because with a system like this, with the Nintendo Switch 2, where the hype is pretty much out of control, like people are losing their minds over this system and want to see it so badly, you want Nintendo to actually be in control of how all of the news gets out there. And so if somebody just manages to take a picture of the Switch 2 while it's getting assembled in a factory or being shipped or something, then that is just going to ruin everything. And you don't want that to be the way that people find out what this system is. So honestly, the best way to get around this would be to just have the official reveal for the Switch 2, show everyone what it looks like, and that way if somebody takes a pic of it like from a factory or something, it's not like we haven't seen it before, we would have already gotten a high resolution trailer from Nintendo themselves. But yeah, really, I would say that if we get to around Halloween time this year, with like the very end of October, and we still haven't seen anything about the Switch 2, I would start to lose hope that there probably isn't going to be a reveal this year. Some people do still think that the reveal isn't happening until early 2025, which I guess could also be a possibility as well. Maybe Nintendo just doesn't want to have anything to do with Switch 2 this year at all, and then next year in January, towards like the end of January, maybe the start of February, that's when they have like a fresh new slate with the new year, and that's when they finally announce this new system. So they could just be trying to do that instead, but I don't know, I feel like if the system is going into mass production by the end of this year, I think the chances of them revealing the system this year is also pretty likely. But regardless, PH Brazil's entire credibility is going to lie upon this week, because if we do get some type of big Nintendo announcement, whether it's a game-specific direct or a partner showcase or anything really, then he was correct about there being announcements that were moved up in terms of presentations, and that also adds further credibility now to what he said about how there was going to be Switch 2 news coming very soon as well. So really, if we don't get anything this upcoming week, then his credibility is going to go down, but if we get any type of presentation, then he was definitely correct about that. So yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see. The best part is we will know our answer in the coming days because this week is just around the corner here, so we won't have to wait too long, and hopefully we do get a pretty cool announcement this week, and that way this would mean that the credibility would go up and it would just be pretty exciting. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely be sure to click that like button and also subscribe to the channel, as well as I'm definitely gonna have some more videos talking about Nintendo news and the Switch 2 as the information comes out. Comment down below and let me know what you guys think about all of this. Do you think that Nintendo is going to be having some type of presentation happening next week? What do you think about the Switch 2 and everything? Definitely be sure to comment down below and let me know. But if you don't have anything to say about this, just comment your favorite emoji down below for some engagement. I would really appreciate it. Go follow me on Twitter at @Aero so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon and Smash Bros and Nintendo, so definitely be sure to join that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.